Hey Hofstra fans, and welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. Mark Krauss joined, as always, by the head coach of the Hofstra volleyball team, Kristina Hernandez. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks for having me.
How would you sum up last week, the non-conference matchup and then the one with Northeastern?
Overall, I think offensively it was a little rough for us. It wasn't as efficient as we were the weekend before, so that definitely led to a lot of more struggles on our side of the net. I don't necessarily think, again, that somebody was scoring points on us. It was us just creating too many opportunities for people to get back in the match with us.
Swept by Seton Hall last week in an out-of-conference matchup. Tell me, in the heart of conference play, what is the value of playing against teams outside of conference?
Well, Seton Hall is a really physical team, and we usually play them before we play Northeastern because of that, because Northeastern tends to be a very physical team, especially with their blocking and things like that. So we wanted to make sure that we got some play in, and because we had a really long stretch of just not playing, and that's a lot, especially in October. We want to make sure that we're, that we're still staying in matches and not getting comfortable. And overall, I think we did a great job as a team, but our outsides were struggling in that match because they put up such a great block against them, which we expected, and that caused a little bit more of not being so efficient on our offense on that end.
Yeah, you look at the stat sheet, everyone in that match who recorded a kill had at least 2 errors in that one. I think it was 30 or 31 total. Do you think that's more of the blocking ability of the Pirates?
Yeah, I think they put a lot of pressure on both Kelsey and Em, and it's probably the biggest block that they've seen all year. They're a much more physical team than we are, but I don't think that they responded very well and found some different ways of things. So it was just a little type of different pressure that I don't think that they were used to seeing. But in the end, it's also a good thing because they will not go up against anything like that in our conference.
And what improvements did you see from the Seton Hall match to the 4-set one with Northeastern?
Our defense is improving tremendously, especially Sofia. She's doing a much better job. She's reading really well, so that was great to see. Also, Kate, defensively, a lot of people have been picking on her in the conference, and she's really upped her game in that end. And so it's nice to see those pieces kind of evolve and get better, because we're going to need to get better in those areas. And
you mentioned Emily Burke. Before, she did have a negative attack percentage against the Pirates and then broke even, 10 kills, 10 errors against the Huskies. What have you seen from her this season? Because she has really put herself into position to be that complement to Kelsey Wills.
Yeah, we're putting more pressure on her, and I think her role was different last year because you had Nikki on the court, and Nikki and Kels took a big chunk of the offense, and we need her and Nuria to really understand what their role is right now, and that's both different from them, and Nuria's new. So, she's swinging aggressively, but not being smart at certain times, and we need her to be better. And again, she had a great weekend the weekend before, so she needs to be able to do that, week in and week out for us to be successful.
So the pressures there on Emily Burke. Talk about some of the pressure you put on Nuria Lopez de Silva then.
Same kind of pressure. She's been doing really great, and when we play people now, you can see that they're really focusing their block around her and really trying to put a lot more pressure on her in that end to make sure that she doesn't really free up the pin hitter so much. So it's something that she's got to keep evolving and working on as well, and things we're working on at practice, because she's got to realize she's not, people are going to pay much more attention to her, that she is scoring, and she's going to have to deal with that pressure.
And then looking at more parts of this team, Krauss and Clem both working on the court together. The assist numbers very similar against Northeastern. How would you evaluate that 6-2?
Offensively, we're doing good. We need to kick out a few things, but they're doing a good job. And like I said, Kate's really upped her defense. We need Hannah to do the same. I think a lot of people really focus on trying to hit both of them to keep us out of system and slow us down and things like that. So it's just something that we've got to learn to play around and keep getting better at.
And then how about Sofia Black's development, because this is her first real experience playing in conference?
She's really taken a new form, I'd say, within just the past 2 weeks, and I'm happy to see it from her. She's much more comfortable out there. You can tell she's taking a lot more space on the court and really starting to make adjustments, and you can tell she's comfortable, and it's what we wanted her to do, and she's definitely, I think she's gotten through her little freshman stage now, and she's really become a key player for us.
Adama Asia missed time at the beginning of the season, but now she's been playing and put in more of a role up front. Haven't been playing with Sarah Campolina though. So what can you say about Hofstra's blocking?
Our blocking is one of our biggest strengths. Adama is, I think, leading the conference right now, actually. And we need her to contribute also and score offensively. I think her and Sarah are kind of the opposite of each other. Sarah scores a lot, but maybe her blocking numbers aren't the greatest, and Adama blocks a lot, but her scoring's not the greatest. So we kind of need to combine both of those and have both of them going. But you know, I'd say overall our blocking is one of our biggest strengths for us right now, and it's something that we just have to kind of keep getting better at.
And look ahead, an interesting quirk in the schedule. You just took on Delaware, Towson, and Northeastern. Now all three of them are coming into Hempstead, Delaware, and Towson this weekend. Do you think you have an advantage going in to those matches because you've already had 2 wins against the Tigers and the Blue Hens?
Maybe a little, but you know, conferences, you can really never tell, and from week to week, people are playing better and things like that. Obviously, there isn't too much time for teams to evolve within a week. It's not like, you know, if we saw them at the beginning and then maybe a month later we see them, I don't think that there's enough time for too much change to happen, which maybe we can use to our benefit on our end as far as executing a game plan. So we really just have to make sure that we're consistent with our offense and keep doing better things on that end, and play better matches, especially against Northeastern.
Would you agree you have the advantage this time playing at home?
It's definitely nice to be home. I think we know that our kids are comfortable at home, you know, so hopefully we can use that to our advantage and really try to kind of separate ourselves from everybody else right now.
What would be the key to getting a win against Northeastern the next time you see them?
It's really just our offense. You know, our defense and how many points we scored were very, very similar as far as those numbers. And it's not like they hit really great against us or they were doing stuff that we couldn't handle. But at moments, you know, like when we had an 11-4 lead in the first set, and we gave up 5 unforced errors on our end, not that the points that they scored, but things that we gave up, just things that we can't control, hitting balls out or overpasses, and you let them get back into the game, and then it becomes a very tight race. So cleaning up those things and not giving away so many strings is really important, especially in conference, because you let somebody in and then you let somebody in, and it's not, you know, nobody's going to back down at this point. So really just kind of focusing on us and what we're doing and staying in control on our end is going to be the key for us.
All right, Coach Hernandez, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Hofstra fans, the Pride are next in action Friday. They'll take on the University of Delaware, and you can follow all the action right here on GoHofstra.com.